So, what if I told you that the way we measure a successful life is, well, just fundamentally broken? Today, we're going to dive into this really powerful framework from author Sahil Bloom that offers a completely new scoreboard for what it means to be wealthy. And believe it or not, it all starts with one single life altering calculation. Just let that sink in for a second. For the author, hearing this from a friend wasn't meant to be cruel, it was just math. You take the average life expectancy, subtract his parents' age, and divide it by how often he actually saw them. And it was a total gut punch. A piece of math that completely broke him, but in the end, it changed his life forever.
And this realization, it exposed a trap that so many of us fall into. We spend our lives on this steady, kind of monotonous march toward what the world tells us success is. We're playing a game, right? But what if the rules of that game are rigged to lead to a hollow victory? I mean, by the time he was 30, the author had checked all the boxes. He had the high-paying job, the fancy title, the house, the car, the whole thing. He'd put in those crazy long hours, totally convinced that this idyllic land of success was just one more bonus, one more promotion away. But when he finally got there, that feeling he was expecting, happiness, fulfillment, it just wasn't there.
There's actually a name for this. It's a classic psychological trap called the arrival fallacy. It's that little voice in your head that says, oh, I'll be happy when I get the job, when I buy the house, when I hit that number in my bank account. We set up this amazing destination, but the moment we get there, that feeling of having arrived is just gone. The goalposts just move further and further away.
And this led to a huge realization. After talking to hundreds of people, CEOs, stay-at-home parents, you name it, it became crystal clear. He wasn't playing the wrong game, he was just playing the game wrong. See, the problem wasn't the pursuit of success itself, it was the scoreboard. Our society's scoreboard is broken because it only really measures one thing: money. Okay, so this is the crucial part. If we want to play the game right, we have to fix the scoreboard. We need a totally new way to measure our lives, one that's grounded in these timeless pillars that actually define a fulfilling life.
And this is it. This is the new scoreboard. It's a way more comprehensive model that brings all the different parts of our lives into balance. It's not about ignoring money, not at all, but it's about seeing it as just one piece of a much larger, much more meaningful picture of what wealth really is. So this new scoreboard is built on 5 core pillars. You've got time wealth, social wealth, mental wealth, physical wealth, and then, yes, finally, financial wealth. And listen, each one is critically important on its own, but it's how they all work together that creates a truly rich life.
So let's do this. Let's break down each of these 5 wealths. Let's look at what they really mean and how they all add up to a life of true abundance.
We're going to start with our most finite asset, time. And this question, man, it brings us right back to that gut punch moment from the very beginning. It forces us to face the reality that our time is not infinite, and it makes us ask, are we really spending it on what matters most? You see, true time wealth isn't just having a bunch of free time or an empty calendar. It's the power of choice. It's about having genuine control over your schedule, the ability to direct your full attention to your priorities, and just a constant awareness of how precious and fleeting every single moment is.
All right, next up is social wealth, and this question, it cuts right to the heart of it. Forget your follower count, forget how big your network is. Who are the people whose presence in your life is absolutely, completely irreplaceable? Social wealth is what gives our lives texture. It allows us to really appreciate all the other kinds of wealth. It's built on that foundation of a few deep, meaningful relationships, but it's also about having that broader connection to a community. I mean, what good is a big house if there's no love inside to fill it?
Now, a really important part of social wealth is getting the difference between bought status and earned status. See, bought status comes from things you can purchase: the fancy car, the watch, the club membership. It's fleeting. But earned status, that comes from things that money just can't buy. They have to be earned. And that is what gets you real, durable respect. Okay, moving on to mental wealth. This question is all about reconnecting with our natural, childlike curiosity. That wide-eyed wonder you had as a kid, that's the real foundation of a healthy inner world. Mental wealth means living a life that's guided by your purpose, not someone else's idea of what your life should be. It's about fundamentally believing that you can grow, you can change, and you can learn new things. And it's also about creating the space, that stillness, to actually listen to your own inner voice.
Wow, what a vivid image, right? Physical wealth is the bedrock. It's the foundation that lets you enjoy everything else. This question isn't about becoming some professional athlete. It's about having the health and the energy to fully experience your life, for your entire life. And here's the good news. Physical wealth is built on really simple, controllable actions. It really just boils down to three things: regular movement, good nutrition, and proper recovery. Your 80-year-old self is the direct result of the actions you decide to take today. And finally, we get to financial wealth, but we're going to reframe it completely. Instead of asking, how can I get more and more and more? The most important question becomes, what is my personal definition of enough? True financial wealth isn't just about a number. The formula is your assets minus your liabilities, sure, but with one critical addition: your expectations. Because if your expectations are always rising, you'll be stuck on a treadmill forever, never, ever feeling like you actually have enough. So, as we bring this all together, the message becomes pretty clear, right? A truly wealthy life isn't defined by a single score. It's a balanced portfolio of your time, your relationships, your sense of purpose, your health, and yes, your money. It's a complete, fulfilling way of living. And this is really the ultimate takeaway. Money is a tool. It's an enabler, but it is not the end goal. The texture, the meaning, the joy of a life that's well lived, all of that comes from everything else. So the only question left is, what does your scoreboard say?